That dull ache in your lower back isn't just from sitting too long. Some mornings your urine looks cloudy. By noon, you're exhausted even after a full night's sleep. These are quiet signals, and they're easy to ignore. But your kidneys aren't being dramatic. They're asking for help. Every single day, they filter nearly 200 liters of blood without stopping. And yet, they're under constant attack. Bacteria cling to your bladder walls. Tiny crystals start clustering into stones. Aggressive molecules tear through delicate filter cells. It's a lot to carry, day after day. Researchers at Papa Giovanni Hospital in Italy, along with Cochrane review teams analyzing 45 clinical trials, uncovered something unexpectedly hopeful. 3 simple fruits, ones you can buy at almost any grocery store, can gently support kidney cleansing, help flush toxins, lower infection risk by 26%, and reduce stone formation by close to 40%. The third fruit even activates a protective switch inside kidney cells that most people have never heard of. Let's start with the first fruit, because it addresses a danger no one talks about until it sends them to the emergency room. Right now, that threat may be sitting quietly in your bladder. E. coli bacteria can latch onto the urinary tract walls like barnacles on a ship. Once they attach, they multiply quickly, triggering infections that force your kidneys into overdrive. They have to filter out not just waste, but the inflammatory toxins these bacteria release into your bloodstream. Most people think urinary tract infections are just uncomfortable bathroom issues. But here's the truth your body already knows: every time bacteria settle in your bladder, your kidneys pay the price, working harder and harder to calm the inflammation and clear the damage. When this cycle repeats often enough, the damage doesn't announce itself. It creeps in quietly, until one day the kidneys simply can't keep up anymore. That's where one small, tart fruit steps in, one most people walk past all year long. Fruit number 1, cranberries. Yes, the same cranberries sitting in the produce aisle, usually ignored unless it's Thanksgiving week. Researchers conducting large Cochrane reviews analyzed 45 randomized controlled trials involving thousands of participants. What they found was striking. Cranberries reduced the risk of recurring, symptomatic urinary tract infections by 18 to 26% in people who get them again and again. These weren't fringe experiments. They were rigorous clinical trials backed by respected institutions across the US and Europe. Then in 2022, scientists in Mexico asked a deeper question: could cranberries still help when kidneys were already under strain? They followed people with stage 3 and stage 4 chronic kidney disease, giving them 1,000 milligrams of cranberry extract daily and tracking outcomes over several months. So what gives cranberries this quiet power? It comes down to special compounds called proanthocyanidins, or PACs. Think of them as a slippery barrier. Harmful bacteria like E. coli normally cling to the bladder wall using tiny hair-like structures. PACs interfere with that grip. When bacteria can't stick, they can't settle in, and they're gently flushed out the next time you urinate instead of causing inflammation and infection. But cranberries don't stop there. They also support a healthier gut environment, reducing the production of uremic toxins, toxic waste compounds that kidneys must constantly filter. When fewer of these toxins reach your bloodstream, your kidneys finally get a little room to breathe. Now let's make this practical. Aim for 8 to 10 ounces of unsweetened cranberry juice daily, or 500 milligrams capsules that provide at least 36 milligrams of PACs. Skip the sweetened juices; they spike inflammation and undo the benefits. Look for pure, unsweetened juice or high-quality extracts that clearly list PAC content on the label. This isn't a quick fix. Real protection builds over time, about 12 to 24 weeks of consistent use. Think of it as slowly strengthening a shield, layer by layer. Before we move on, take a moment to reflect. Where are you watching from? What kidney challenges are you facing right now? If you're supporting your kidneys naturally, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. If this helped you, type "great" in the comments. If it didn't land quite right, type "improve." I'm here to do better for you. One important note of caution: if you're taking warfarin or other blood thinners, cranberries may increase bleeding risk. Always check with your doctor first. And if you're in advanced kidney disease and monitoring potassium closely, talk with your healthcare team before adding them. Cranberries are powerful when it comes to infections. But there's another kidney threat, one that sends hundreds of thousands of people to the emergency room every year. It arrives suddenly, often at night, when a tiny crystal shifts inside the kidney. The pain is intense and unforgettable, spreading from the lower back and demanding immediate attention. And that's where the next fruit comes in. Kidney stones don't appear out of nowhere. They form slowly, when minerals like calcium and oxalates start clumping together in your urine, hardening into sharp little crystals. As they grow, they can lodge themselves in the narrow tubes that carry urine from your kidneys to your bladder. When that happens, pressure builds fast and the pain can be overwhelming. What makes this even harder is that once you've had a stone, chances are high it'll happen again within 5 years unless something truly changes. And here's the gentle truth: one of the most effective tools to prevent that is probably already sitting in your kitchen. Fruit number 2, lemons. The same bright yellow fruit you casually squeeze into water, never realizing how protective it can be. In 2021, Dr. Petro Rugani and his team at Papa Giovanni Hospital in Bergamo, Italy, ran a study called the Probe Trial. They followed 203 people who repeatedly formed calcium oxalate stones. Half of them added fresh lemon juice to their daily routine, about 2 to 4 tablespoons mixed into 2 liters of water. After 2 years, that group had 38% fewer new stones than those who drank plain water alone. That's a life-changing difference from such a simple habit. The magic lies in citric acid, the compound that gives lemons their sour bite. Once it reaches your urine, citric acid gently raises the pH, making it less acidic. Calcium oxalate stones thrive in acidic environments. When things shift toward alkaline, those crystals struggle to form and stick. Citrate also binds to calcium, keeping it dissolved so it can wash out harmlessly instead of hardening into something painful. This works best with consistency. Mix 2 to 4 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice into about 2 liters of water and sip it throughout the day. Having it with meals can help your body handle it more comfortably. Think of this as a long-term commitment, 6 months to 2 years, that quietly protects you by stopping stones before they ever take shape. If you want a simple, printable guide that shows exactly how to use lemons and other kidney-friendly foods in daily meals, portions, timing, and easy recipes, I've put one together in my Etsy shop. It takes the guesswork out so you don't have to overthink it. A quick word of care: if you struggle with acid reflux or GERD, too much lemon can irritate your stomach. Start small. Listen to your body. It will tell you what's right. Cranberries help guard against infections. Lemons help keep stones from turning your life upside down. But there's another threat, quieter, more invisible, that targets your kidney cells themselves. This one doesn't announce itself with pain. You don't feel it happening. It's called oxidative stress, when unstable molecules known as free radicals damage kidney cells over time. Your kidneys rely on millions of tiny filtering units called nephrons, each one carefully deciding what stays in your blood and what gets removed. When free radicals attack, they weaken those filters, disrupting the entire system. Slowly, proteins begin leaking into the urine. Swelling appears. Kidney function starts slipping. Most people have no idea any of this is happening until routine blood work reveals the damage. And by then, it can feel like you're already behind, trying to slow a process that's been quietly unfolding for years. That's why the next fruit matters so much. It works where the damage begins inside the kidney cells themselves. This is where a small, familiar berry quietly steps in, the kind you probably snack on without a second thought. Fruit number 3, blueberries. Those tiny blue gems sitting in your fridge or tucked away in the freezer right now. In 2014, researchers at Marshall University in the United States studied animals with metabolic syndrome, a state where blood sugar, blood pressure, and weight are all under strain at the same time. They added blueberries to the diet and watched closely to see what happened inside the kidneys. What they observed was striking. Blueberries calmed a powerful inflammatory alarm inside kidney cells known as the TLR4/MAPK pathway. This pathway normally switches on when the body senses danger, but when it stays active too long, it fuels inflammation and oxidative damage. By quieting that signal, blueberries stop the chain reaction before it could harm the delicate filtering cells. The real heroes here are anthocyanins, the natural pigments that give blueberries their deep blue color. These compounds act like gentle bodyguards for your nephrons, absorbing free radicals before they can tear through kidney tissue. Human studies tell a similar story. People in the early stages of chronic kidney disease who eat more anthocyanin-rich foods tend to show healthier kidney markers and slower disease progression. And the amount you need is refreshingly simple: 1/2 to 1 cup of fresh or frozen blueberries a day. Blend them into a smoothie, sprinkle them over yogurt, or eat them by the handful. What matters most is consistency year-round, not just when they're in season. A small note of care: blueberries can carry pesticide residue on their skins, so give them a good wash before eating. And if you're in stage 4 or later chronic kidney disease, it's wise to check with your doctor first, since even lower potassium fruits may need limits at that stage. Now take a breath and look at the full picture. Cranberries help block infections. Lemons help stop stones before they form. Blueberries protect your kidney cells from slow, invisible damage. But eating them randomly won't give you the full benefit. There's a gentler, smarter way to let them work together. Think of this as building a layered defense for your kidneys. Cranberries are the lock on the front door, keeping trouble from getting in. Lemons are the alarm system, stopping small problems from turning into emergencies. Blueberries are the repair crew, calming inflammation and restoring balance after stress hits. Used together, with intention, these 3 fruits don't just help in the moment, they create protection your kidneys can rely on over time. Here's a gentle daily rhythm that makes all of this work without turning your life into another exhausting checklist. Start your morning with a large glass of water mixed with 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. Nothing fancy. This simple habit wakes your system up and sends citrate flowing through your kidneys early, when they're ready to clear out yesterday's buildup. By mid-morning, have 8 ounces of unsweetened cranberry juice, or take a 500 mg cranberry capsule with a snack. That timing keeps those protective packs circulating through your urinary tract, making it harder for bacteria to grab hold and cause trouble. Later in the afternoon or evening, add a small handful of blueberries to whatever you're already eating: yogurt, a smoothie, oatmeal, or just straight from the bowl. This is when your kidneys benefit most from that antioxidant support, calming inflammation and protecting the filtering cells as the day winds down. If this is starting to click and you can see how these 3 fruits work together to actually support your kidneys, take a second to hit the thumbs up button. It may feel small, but it helps this reach someone else who's hurting, exhausted, and unaware that simple foods like these could make a real difference. Now let's be honest for a moment. These fruits aren't magic detox drinks that flush toxins in 24 hours. Your kidneys already do the filtering through tiny structures called glomeruli, microscopic strainers built into your body. What these foods do is protect those filters by reducing infections, preventing stones, and calming the cellular damage that makes their job harder over time. Real change happens over weeks and months, not overnight. But with consistency, many people notice their kidneys feeling calmer, steadier, working more smoothly than they have in years. Where most people go wrong is in the small details that quietly undo all their effort. The biggest mistake? Reaching for sweetened cranberry juice because it tastes better. I get it. But here's the hard truth, that added sugar fuels inflammation throughout your body. It directly cancels out the very benefits you're trying to get from the packs in cranberries. It's like trying to put out a fire while pouring gasoline on it at the same time. And once that happens, progress stalls before it ever really begins. The second mistake is a quiet one, but it matters more than most people realize. It's reaching for bottled lemon juice instead of squeezing fresh lemons. Those shelf-stable bottles lose much of their citric acid during processing. On top of that, they're often packed with preservatives, extra compounds your kidneys now have to filter out. What you're left with is a weak imitation that barely helps with stone prevention at all. The third mistake surprises a lot of people. It's grabbing blueberries straight from the container and popping them into your mouth without washing them first. Those skins can hold on to pesticide residue, and instead of easing your kidneys' workload, you're quietly giving them more toxins to deal with. The fourth mistake is the one that quietly kills results. People use these fruits once or twice a week and then feel frustrated when nothing changes. Your kidneys need daily, steady levels of PAX, citrate, and anthocyanins to build real protection. Cranberries on Monday and nothing again until Friday just doesn't give your body what it needs. The fifth mistake is serious and it can be dangerous. If you're taking warfarin or other blood thinners, cranberries can interfere with how your medication works and raise bleeding risk. Similar concerns apply to certain blood pressure medications and diuretics. These fruits are powerful. You can't simply add them without making sure they're safe alongside what you're already taking. Now, even if you avoid every one of these mistakes, there's still one thing most people completely overlook, and without it, none of this truly works. It sounds almost too simple, so people dismiss it. But it matters more than all the fruits combined. Water. Most people are walking around mildly dehydrated without realizing it. When you don't drink enough, your urine becomes thick and concentrated, almost syrupy. All the waste your kidneys are trying to flush out gets crammed into a smaller volume, forcing them to work much harder. At the same time, urine becomes more acidic, which is exactly the environment kidney stones love and bacteria thrive in. Dehydration also slows your glomerular filtration rate, the speed at which your kidneys clean your blood. When that slows down, waste doesn't leave efficiently. It starts backing up, adding stress to a system that's already working non-stop for you. This is why hydration isn't optional. It's the quiet foundation that allows everything else you're doing to actually help instead of just sounding good on paper. Here's the part that quietly ties everything together. Those 3 fruits work so much better when there's enough water moving through your body. The packs in cranberries need diluted urine to keep bacteria from gripping the bladder wall. Citrate from lemons stays dissolved longer and does its job better when there's plenty of fluid carrying it through your kidneys. And the anthocyanins in blueberries circulate more freely when you're well hydrated, actually reaching the kidney cells that need protection most. For most people, that means 64 to 80 ounces of water a day, about 8 to 10 glasses. A simple way to check? Look at your urine. It should be pale yellow, almost clear. If it's dark, like apple juice, your kidneys are working overtime and begging for more fluid. One easy habit that really helps: keep a water bottle where you can see it all day on your desk, the kitchen counter, or in your car. If plain water feels boring, add a few lemon slices, cucumber, or even a couple of berries. Small things like this make consistency feel effortless. Now let's talk honestly for a moment. What if your kidneys have already been under strain for years? Is it too late? Can these fruits still help if real damage has already set in? The truth is this: these foods shine brightest when you're preventing problems or supporting kidneys that still have good function. If damage is advanced, food alone can't pull you out of that hole. There are warning signs that mean it's time to see a doctor, not try to fix things with cranberries and lemon water. Ongoing lower back pain that won't let up. Blood in your urine, whether bright red or tea-colored. Sudden swelling in your legs, ankles, or feet that make shoes feel tight. Big changes in how often you urinate, unexplained weight loss, or a sudden shift in urine color or smell. These aren't things to wait on. And if you've already been diagnosed with stage 3 chronic kidney disease or higher, you're in a different category. At that point, your kidneys have lost a meaningful amount of filtering ability, and a nephrologist needs to guide what you eat and drink. Even though cranberries are low in potassium and lemons can still help with stones, you should always clear changes with your medical team first. The goal here isn't to replace medical care, it's to work alongside it. These fruits are powerful allies for keeping healthy kidneys running smoothly and for slowing early-stage issues. But once kidney disease is advanced, real treatment means medications, careful monitoring, and sometimes dialysis planning, things no amount of blueberries can substitute. Used wisely, at the right time, these foods can protect what you still have. And that, in itself, matters more than most people realize. So where does this leave you, especially if your kidneys are still doing okay and you want to keep it that way? Let's slow it down and end with something clear, calm, and doable. This isn't about overhauling your life. It's about a simple plan you can start tomorrow morning. It all comes down to using those 3 fruits with intention. Cranberries are your infection blockers. Aim for 8 to 10 ounces of unsweetened cranberry juice, or a 500 mg capsule that provides at least 36 mg of packs. Used daily, they make it harder for bacteria to cling to your bladder walls. Large Cochrane reviews covering 45 clinical trials showed this routine can lower urinary infection risk by 18 to 26% when followed consistently for 12 to 24 weeks. Lemons are your stone protectors. Squeeze 2 to 4 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice into about 2 liters of water and sip it throughout the day. This keeps citrate moving through your system, creating an environment where stones struggle to form. In Dr. Rugani's Italian trial, people who stayed consistent saw a 38% drop in kidney stone formation over 2 years. Blueberries are your cellular bodyguards. A simple 1/2 to 1 cup daily, fresh or frozen, is enough. Those deep blue anthocyanins help calm inflammation and protect kidney cells from oxidative damage. Research from Marshall University showed these compounds shut down inflammatory pathways that slowly wear down your filtering units over time. Here's the part that matters most: consistency. This isn't something you dabble in. Daily intake for at least 12 weeks is what allows protection to build. Skip days often, and your body never gets ahead of the damage. It's like resetting the clock again and again. A few important reminders before you start. If you take warfarin or other blood thinners, cranberries may interfere with your medication. Always check first. If you have stage 3 chronic kidney disease or higher, talk with your doctor before adding these foods. And always wash your blueberries well to remove pesticide residue. Your kidneys are working for you every minute of every day, filtering nearly 200 liters of blood without asking for attention or credit. These 3 fruits give them the support they've quietly needed all along. If you'd like everything laid out in one clear, printable guide with meal ideas, shopping lists, and simple prep tips, I've created a complete kidney health resource in my Etsy shop. No guessing. No overwhelm. Just steps you can actually follow. You'll find the link in the description. And if this helped you see kidney health differently, don't keep it to yourself. Share this with someone you care about, someone dealing with infections, stones, or just trying to protect their health before problems start. It could save them years of pain. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. I appreciate you staying with me through this, and now, go grab those fruits and start taking care of your kidneys with intention and kindness.